to my latest podcast episode called From Books to Breakthroughs. And I'm trying to uncover and to bring forward some of the things that are kept hidden and that drive our behaviours in a way that isn't necessarily the best thing for us and can actually cause us quite a lot of harm. I wanted to just think about the topic of self-help. And ironically, I know what I do is self-help. So you have to bear with me on this one because there's a reason that this topic is so important. Because we need to actually think about why it is that there is a multi-billion-dollar industry out there in self-help. Why do we all need self-help in the first place? And why is it that we are looking for other people to validate and provide us with that self-help? When you start to think about it, it all feels a little bit odd. You know, we really do have the answers inside of us because we are the expert of our own experience and we often have the solutions to the challenges we face. We've just gotten ourselves into a situation in modern society where we're taught not to look deeper inside. We're taught not to listen to our bodies. We're taught not to listen to our gut instincts. In fact, we're taught that we only have 5 senses. 5 senses? I think not. If you think about your 6th sense, and I don't mean the film where you can see dead people, although you may have that particular talent, I don't know. But the whole point is that we are taught that anything to do with a 6th sense is very much woo-woo, unicorn strokey, out there, scary, wrong, weird, bizarre. And as you'll know, if you've done some more of my work on my programs, that plays right into the flock response. So it keeps us locked in this space of fear and of not wanting to look towards anything different, not wanting to appear to be being different, and we go with the flock to keep us safe. It's a safety-seeking behaviour. So through the years, this idea of a 6th sense has kind of been peddled out there as being something either stupid, to be ridiculed, or dangerous or wrong. But when you dig a bit deeper, and go with me on this, because I might be a unicorn stroker, but I also have a scientific mind. So let's look at this in more detail and blend the two together. You have the 5 primary senses, and we're taught that from a very early age. But what about your gut? What about your bodily feelings? What about your instincts? That gut feeling that tells you that something is not right for you. And we're also taught on the other side that use your gut. Use your gut. Always follow your gut, unless it goes against the popular narrative, because then you're not safe. You just need to do what you're told. And a lot of my work has been based on this, and especially in schools, I do a lot of work within education and within schools, but also within businesses and within family units and communities, is that we have this strange belief that if our gut instincts tell us something is wrong, we need to override that if other people want us to do something different. And it's so harmful and dangerous, really, really is, especially for raging people pleasers like me. My own trauma drive is fawn response, people pleasing behaviour. And it's really at odds with the way that we live, because your body will tell you. You know this. When I'm speaking these words, you're probably going, actually, yeah, my guts. I feel sick when I have to do these kind of things. Or I've had that this week when I just felt that this was so wrong, but I haven't got a choice. I don't have a choice. I have to go along with what other people expect of me. Other people's perceptions of me are important. Can't rock the boat. Just anything for an easy life. Don't put your head above the parapet, all that stuff. And I get it. I understand that. I understand how it works. I've made it my business to look over the last decade into psychology and human behaviour. Fascinating topic as a species. We're just batshit crazy, honestly. But when you start to think about it in terms of your own life and the impact it has on your life, if you think about all of the times that you've done something that's gone against what you really feel in your body and how that's panned out, all the times that maybe you've made yourself ill, worrying about something or thinking about something that's just so at odds with your values and what's important to you or what you need, it's quite an interesting topic to consider. And it's the reason that we are all addicted to self-help trends. And my ironic position is, yes, this is what I do, and this is my life's purpose, my passion. But what I really want, and when I'm coaching, when I'm in a space of coaching, and it's really difficult not ending up in these codependent relationships because everyone's just so broken and battered, and everyone needs things. And half of us are raging fixers from our own childhood traumas, and half of us are needing fixing because we don't believe we have any power. And it's just a recipe for disaster, isn't it? But once you dig out and you have that knowledge and you can start to process things a little bit differently and have a different filter on that, a different lens, you can start to adjust your behaviour and start to see, how things really are. And in the coaching spaces, when I'm kind of working with people, I think, I don't want to see you. With the greatest respect in the world, my driver is not financial, much to my detriment and my family's detriment. I realise that you need money. You need money to survive, and money's lovely, and I would like a lifestyle that I feel I deserve and my family deserve. But my main driver isn't and never has been how many zeros in the bank account. It just isn't. I'm trying to work on that. It is one of my blockages and one of my challenges and one of my own trauma responses and around self-worth. And you'll get it when you listen to or watch my story, and if you join me on some of my programs, you'll get it. But that being said, my passion is the effect and the ability to live out my purpose, which is to stand in my particular role in my community, pass on my wisdom. And that's what drives me. And that's what drives me to make this content and to get it out there. So in terms of coaching, the Human Givings Institute, I've been doing some training with them, and their philosophies are great, sort of effective brief psychotherapy. I want you in and out in 4 sessions, 5 sessions maximum. I want to help you, give you some tools to uncover what the hell is going on, bring some stuff that's in the darkness into the light so that you're aware of it. My special superpower is shadow work. And then you can pop along on your merry way and live an amazing life. That's my purpose. I don't want to end up in relationships with people where I have to rely for the next 20, 30 years on having weekly therapy sessions so that you can pay my mortgage. That feels unethical. And I've spoken to lots of people in the industry, lots of psychotherapists, counsellors, psychiatrists, and the very older school methods. And it's so interesting. It's another topic, actually. I might do this as another topic and invite some of my friends in from the field. There's a lot of toxic spaces out there. And for those of you who aren't, which will be many of you, aren't aware and aren't in the industry, and at the risk of pissing some people off, which I'm not a community disruptor for nothing, there is a lot of toxicity in the industry when it comes to coaching and counselling and therapies, because it's big business. And I don't mean that everybody is just trying to make a buck out of other people's misery. Some people are. There's some really unethical practitioners out there, but most people really, really want to be making a difference. However, we're in this danger zone of having something called countertransference. If people aren't doing their own shadow work and they're coming to the table with this trauma drive of being a fixer, and I've done training before with psychiatrists, really helping their field, who melt like a puddle in the corner when they have to do some inner work themselves. And that kind of makes me think, oof, there's a difficulty, isn't there? And luckily there's frameworks out there and there's really good supervision in the spaces, but there's a lot of people who are driven to work in the helping industry out of a deep needed desire to be chosen, to be loved, to be validated, to distract themselves so much from their own stuff because they cannot work on the stuff that's going on for them, but they can take on other people's stuff and they can kind of work through their stuff through others, which is called countertransference. So I think there's a big business to be made out of this, and not everybody is aware that that's what's happening. I've done this myself, and it's part of my work to get out of that space, which is why I'm doing a lot of digital stuff now. Someone wants to pay you to come and have a therapy session or to come and do something to help them feel better. They feel better at the end of it. You feel great because you've done something valuable and they think you're amazing. Win-win, right? I don't know about that. I don't feel like it is. I feel like people shouldn't be miserable. People shouldn't be unhappy. People shouldn't be feeling so terrible that they need to look to somewhere or someone else to be fixed. And I think if we can get into this zone where we're all playing a part and there's no hierarchy, there's as little ego as possible, healthy ego, because ego is not a bad thing. Looking after yourself and protecting your identity is great, but healthy, balanced ego where everybody's status is recognised, everybody's contribution and part to play is valued and recognised, then we can actually all help and support each other. And it's in other cultures, if you look in other cultures, they deal with things very differently. And if somebody is struggling with their mental health, it's a very temporary thing. They're experiencing something and that will be supported, and then they will move on and experience something else. Whereas we tend to like to just slap labels, like, here, have a label, and you can carry that around with you forever. And you're probably going to end up with a few more because there's some more labels that go quite well with that one that we like. And there's also some really snazzy meds that go along with that label, which, I'm really sorry, but it makes us quite a lot of money. Controversy. And then there's also all these really good therapies out there. So if you have that label on you, then we've got a good if you make it a good 40, 50 years ahead, that we can all make some money and the economy will keep going round. So this is great. Why would we not put labels on people? Another topic that we're going to go through is labels. So when we have these labels that others impose on us or we impose on ourselves, we get stuck in this space and in this belief that this is who I am as a person. I'm an anxious person. I am a depressed person. I am a sad person. I'm an angry person. All those things. And then when that happens, then we think, well, I clearly I'm not good enough. This is who I am and I can't do anything about it. I don't have any control or any choice over this. Therefore, somebody else or something else is going to provide me with a solution to help me feel not so crap in my own body. Okay, following along, is that making sense so far? And when we operate this way and we have these two different things, the fixers and the things that can fix and the people who need fixing, we're in a really toxic environment. What we need tools, and we need trained people and people who are actively working on their own shit and really trying to keep the balance right, to help shine a light on some of this stuff, teach people what's going on in their brains and their bodies, and provide some tools. You know, the whole teach a man to fish analogy, the metaphor. This is what we need more of, because then you light the touch paper for those people, and then they have their experience and they move through their experience and they have some tools to be able to use, and then they can pass it on to somebody else and light that touch paper. And that's, for me, a far more balanced and ethical and just better way to do things. And we all have to be able to sit in our own truth and take a step back when we need to. And I've had to do that a few times. Not feeling it at the moment. It's not an appropriate place for me to be out doing things because I need to have an experience right now. My body's telling me that something's not right and I need to learn and I need to grow. I'm going to tell you a story actually about a lobster, which we won't do that today. We'll do that another day, so you can look forward to that. But it's all around growth. So recognising what your body's telling you, thinking, no, something's not feeling right. My body's telling me something. My sixth sense, which of course we all have, is telling me that something's not right. So I'm going to take myself away from the situations that I'm in. I'm going to reflect. I'm going to feel some feelings. I'm going to let some stuff come up. And then I'm going to find some tools to be able to solve my own problems and to be able to empower myself, reclaim my power, take some control back and work out what it is I need, what I want, where I'm going to go next. That's so powerful, you know. If we can all do that a little bit more, then that would be, I think it would change the way things work in society. So that's my aim, is to kind of bring some of that knowledge and some of those little truth bombs along the way, and having the courage to be able to acknowledge that in your own life, especially when you are in the helping industry. That's the most powerful thing you can do, I think, for the people, is to walk the talk and be really honest and authentic when you need to take a step back and reassess, and then you can come back with some more tools. Your hero's quest. Look, guys, I've been out and this has happened, and now I have some more tools that I can share. And do you have anything you want to share in return? It just feels like a better space to be. So that's my musings on that topic. This is why we are all addicted to self-help trends of some description, because they make money. They keep us in these codependent relationships, and they allow for a lot of counter-transference, and the people who are in the field are able to work through some of their stuff in the way that feels comfortable to them. The people who are really struggling often tend to stay in that struggly space because there is no way out, because you're not getting to the deeper root causes. So hopefully that's what I'm going to be able to bring to you guys. And I'm going to be bringing a few guests in. I've got lots of nice guests lined up, which I'm really excited about. And I'd like to be able to bring in some experts in this particular field. So I have a couple of friends who are neuroscientists. I have a couple of friends who are kind of leaders and experts in coaching and counselling, and they teach. And psychotherapists. So I'd really like to have some good conversations about this. So stay tuned for more, and we'll delve a little bit deeper. But for now, I just want to remind you that you are absolutely smashing it. You're here, you're getting through the day. And if it feels crappy sometimes, that is okay. You're allowed. And there's nothing wrong with you. You're not broken. You're not lost. You're just in a space where you've forgotten where your power lies, and you've forgotten who you really are. And society's maybe battered you down a little bit too much, and you need a little bit of space to regroup and to find yourself, and to try and not find yourself, because you're not lost, to dig in and weed out some of the things that are holding you back and find some of those root causes. It's a rediscovery, isn't it? It's an excavation, getting rid of all the crap and finding what makes you happy, what lights you up, what your actual needs are, not what everybody else's needs are. So yeah, that's where I'm going to leave it. I think that's a little bit of a topic just to give you a flavour of some of the things that I want to be covering, and just to give you a little insight into what's really going on. And yeah, ironically, there are some tools and there are some things that I have on my learning platforms that are specifically geared towards this. So yeah, have a good look at that, because I've got some really cool weeds and seeds. I like my nature analogy, so weeds and seeds, some specific things to work through to actually get to the root of your stuff, because this one size fits all kind of templates and things, they just scratch the surface. This is why a lot of them don't work. Most of them, in my opinion, don't work, because they're not personalised enough. They're not person-centred, and they don't get to the crux of the matter of what's going on for you as an individual. So by actually going deeper and weeding out some of those roots, then you're able to do a bit of reprogramming and uninstall some faulty software, program in some of the stuff that's going to work for you. And then at that point, you know, the stuff that you may have come across in the past, you might have shelves full of empty journals that you don't use, and loads of vision boards and loads of programs and all kinds of things just sat there on your phone that you can't really get motivated to, and they're not really working for you. Once you've done a spot of weeding and you've got rid of some of the old stuff, then actually all of those tools, those kind of surface level tools, become really powerful, and you can then start to use them. It's like you're in your car and you've got your foot on the gas, but you're in neutral and you're really striving ahead, but you can't move because there's something stuck holding you back. You have to look at what that is. As soon as you weed that out and get rid of it, you're flying, you know, Ferrari time. You can use all those tools and all the wisdom you've had before, and they'll start to work for you and start to move you forward. So yeah, that's my little musings for today. So I hope you have got some value out of that particular topic. I will be taking it further, but for now, jump on the Spotify playlist, because one of the things that you can do to help yourself feel better in real time is to have some feel-good tunes. So every one of my guests is going to start compiling some tunes, and I'd love to hear your favourite. If you have a real good feel-good tune that you want to add to the playlist, then get in touch and let me know, and we'll get it on there, and it'll just make you feel a little bit better. So I will see you in the next episode. Lots of love.